Now, the first step that we need to take to get started in the app is to download the customer that we now want to do inspections for. As this is an offline app, we need to download that equipment to the app while we have internet connection, and then we can work in areas where there is no internet connection whatsoever. As you can see in the app, we have 3 modules down here below. We have the home screen, we have sync, and we have job reports. To do the download of the customer, we will go to the sync module. Now we can click down here, or we can click on the download button here on the home screen. It doesn't matter, we get to the same place in the app, which is in the sync module. Within the sync module, we have 3 sections. We have the download section, the setup, and the upload. Now, the first thing that we want to do is to download the customer that we now want to do inspections for. So we click on the customer button right here. As you can see, once we have decided on the customer, we can also specify the location and area. But firstly, we have to choose the customer. Here you'll have a list of all the companies that you have on your Onix Work account, either created on your own or connections to existing Onix Work accounts, such as this one, Big Tech. They also use Onix Work, and we can see that by these arrows. We are going to use Big Tech as our customer in this video. Now that I've chosen the customer, you can see that I also can choose the location and area. So if this customer has specified locations, we can go ahead and check the locations that we want to download. I only recommend downloading locations if they are geographically separated, so there's no possibility of equipment actually moving between these locations, because once you do specify to download only one location, you will only be able to inspect equipment on that location. So the thumb rule is to just simply download the entire customer. We now click on download, and you will see a preparing bar right here and a downloading bar here, which will tell us the progress and when it is all completed. So now the download is completed. This is the customer that we downloaded. We did not specify any location or area, and we have also downloaded information about our company, such as our checklists and settings from the forums and so on. Now to go ahead, there's only one button to click, so we click on Setup. We are now brought to the default configuration. This is where we can set some default job options, so that we don't have to specify this information for each individual job that we do later on in the app, such as which control regime are we going to do inspections for. Do we want to include an order number? Does the customer, do they want us to include some sort of order number? And as you can see, this app has now included 2 more job classes. It is not only mandatory inspections that you are now allowed to do in Onix Inspect. We can now also do preventive and operator maintenance. So in these 2 options right here, we first set which one is going to be the default one, and here we decide on which ones we want to have as a possible option later on in the app. And at the bottom here, do we want these jobs that we now upload from the app to be automatically filed in Onix Work, or do we want to log on to Onix Work afterwards and manually file these jobs? To edit all of this information, we click on this pen here at the top right corner, and we will be able to type in order numbers, decide what job class is our default job class, and if we are not going to do any maintenance jobs, we can click here and simply remove those as options here. And at the bottom here, we have the switch, which enables automatically filing of jobs, like so. And we click on the save button here on the top. And at the bottom here, you will see what kind of control categories you have access to inspect on this customer and as a user. Okay, if we click back, let me just show you where we are now in the app. So we were brought straight to the setup section here and default configuration once we had downloaded the customer. So this is where we did all the default job options. And the sync module is where we're going to come back to once we are done with our inspections, so we can upload these inspections. And the last button that we want to look at now before we move on is just the download of my company. So now that I've downloaded the customer and the equipment, if I now realize there is some information missing in the app, such as a checklist, or has been done changes to a checklist since I made this download, or my signature has been updated in Onix Work, and I just want to make sure it is the correct one also here in the app. This is where I just simply refresh the app without touching any of the equipment that we have downloaded. It doesn't affect any information or any jobs that you have started on in the app. Okay, let's move on to the equipment module.